Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is August 30th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. We have our cutoff low to the left. There's the state of California outlined, some monsoon moisture across Arizona. We've got lightning strikes overlaid. We're going to play through this as we went through the day yesterday. You can see some of that thunderstorm activity pop up, and right there we got one over California. It did produce a few lightning strikes. Of course, the majority of that lightning was across Arizona. If we put that into motion, you'll see the upper level low continuing to move towards the Northern California coastline and the southern Oregon coastline. Is just taking its sweet time, but it is going to reduce some of the temperatures here for a time, but we're going to bounce back pretty strongly here with the ridge across much of the region and warm things up. We'll take a detailed look at that. There's also chances for thunderstorm activity over the next few days for some of the higher terrain. We'll take a look at that in some detail as well. So look at the probability of 100-degree temperature or more. You can see the station and their corresponding lines as we go for tomorrow, Saturday the 31st, on in through next week. As we head on into the first week of September, we are going to be dealing with some very warm conditions, definitely above average for this time of year. More on that here in a moment. And just a heads up here for Eureka, California, if you run at that marine layer, slow down a little bit. Taking a look at additional details here as far as temperatures, look at Redding as we bounce back through next week, talking about temperatures getting up towards 104 again. Modesto 102, you can see Marysville 103, Vacaville 104. So yeah, we're definitely going to be warming up, but you can see the upper level low kind of swing through here on Sunday and Monday for many areas, keeping temperatures nice and suppressed at least for a time before we bounce back a bit here. Then who knows what's going to happen after that. But I like that the National Weather Service San Diego did put out some of this for thunderstorm potential today. Big Bear Lake, you can see in Idlewild and Anza there. So there is the chance across the higher terrain. So don't sleep on that. If you see those cumulus clouds building out there, they could contain some dangerous lightning. And if you see the SPC does not include that for some of the peninsular range here, and also probably over the next couple of days, there is a threat for some isolated thunderstorm activity across the Sierra Nevada. You know, notice they do not put that in here. I guess that's why you watch this channel, right? You want to know these individual details. And take a look at day two. Again, there's going to be some threat across the Sierra Nevada and maybe the peninsular range here as well. So that's day two, and then day three. Now, taking a look at the upper level low where I'm circling here across Pacific Ocean, Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left, there's the state of California. Put this into motion. You can see this little bowling ball swing through. It doesn't have a lot of precipitation with it, but it could destabilize for a few thunderstorms and will suppress the temperatures a bit. And then, as you can see, as we go on in towards the 144 hour when the European as of last night ends, that ridge is starting to rebuild. That's just going to start to bring us our heat as we go on in through next week. So taking a look at 6-hour precipitation, I want to kind of just drive home the point there that we're not looking at a lot of precipitation, but you could get a few storms there across the Sierra Nevada today in the peninsular range today as well. So we scroll on in through Saturday morning. Now we're headed towards Saturday afternoon, and again, you can see that thunderstorm activity across the Sierra Nevada, at least according to the European, and even up towards some of the transverse range and the peninsular range here. You can see maybe out towards Las Vegas, portions of northern Arizona, and southwestern Utah as well. We'll scroll on in through Sunday and see what it shows as far as thunderstorm potential again. And again, you could get a couple of those to pop off across the Sierra Nevada. So just keep that in the back of your mind since the SPC is not mentioning it. So looking at 2-meter temperature anomaly, if I put this into motion, you can see we are going to be above average here for the next couple of days. And then we swing this upper level low as we go through the weekend. That kicks out and we really rebound some of these temperatures. I mean, look at some of Southern California. So even some of the coastal areas are going to be above normal here. I'll show you more on that here in a moment as well. But you can see much of the state as we go through the first week of September, quite a ways above average. Some heat is definitely going to be the top story. And looking at Los Angeles and the raw data here for the GFS, just a slow, steady climb to some above average conditions. The National Weather Service even talked about some temperatures potentially reaching 100 degrees here for Los Angeles. And this is a pretty, relatively cool area, especially compared to the inland areas. So when you see these temperatures start to rise up, that is a big deal. And if we take a look at Los Angeles International Airport, so far this month, almost right at average, just 1/10 of a degree above average. No precipitation to speak of, but you can see the average temperature this time of year is 76 degrees or so. So we are definitely going to be bringing that above average over the next week or so. And if we take a look at Palm Springs, these are pretty typical here, but just kind of showing you that we are going to remain, up towards 110 here as we go through the extended forecast. That isn't that unusual, however. And you can see if we take a look at Palm Springs, 1.9 degrees so far this month above average when you average the max and the mins. And as you see, 111 degrees yesterday, and that was, only a degree above average. So you're right about 110 degrees at this time of year. And here's San Diego, again, another coastal area here, warming up quite nicely as we go on in towards the September, 5th, 6th, 7th time frame there as well. So heads up for that. Even some of the coastal areas are going to be warming up a bit. And this is San Diego, 1.4 degrees above average so far this month, but nothing too crazy going on. No precipitation reported, and so pretty typical stuff so far. But again, we are going to be warming up. This is Fresno. Check it out. You can see the temperatures on in through the 2-week time period on the GFS raw data. And if we look at Fresno, 1.4 above average. You can see yesterday was 98 degrees. That's about 3 degrees above average there. So, mid 90s or so is normal for this time of year. And here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation. Check it out. We don't have a good signal here as far as precipitation is concerned across the southwest. And the 8 to 14 day leaves no doubt which areas are favored for above normal here, much of the west. And again, the 8 to 14 day kind of showing something similar. So if we take a look at the National Weather Models, I'll scroll through this and you can see this is for today. You can see some upper 90s, up towards 100 for Redding, and of course warmer across the desert areas. We stay there for tomorrow, and then Sunday we start that little bit of a cool down as the upper level low is going to be making its way in. And check it out, Monday, not too bad. But then look at the quick bounce back on Tuesday. So I'm toggling back and forth. There's Monday again, some upper 80s and some temperatures right around 90, but then we bounce back towards 100 as we go through Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we remain warm as we go through the first week of September. So taking a look at the fire smoke out there as well, just want to point this out. We are doing quite well, relatively speaking. I got some green circles that froze up on the screen here, but you guys get the gist. I think that is the coffee pot fire. It continues to grow out there and it continues to produce some smoke. So if you are in these general areas, that's probably from the coffee pot fire. There are a couple other active fires, but that's the main smoke producer right now. And again, we're doing quite well, relatively speaking, across much of the state. And again, there's the coffee pot fire. We had the Boise fire, and of course the massive park fire that we had earlier this month that has stopped growing, 94% contained as of now. And the drought monitor, this did come out. I first showed it yesterday. There is a little bit of moderate and severe drought just clipping Northern California, but the entire state is doing quite well overall. But yeah, anyway, watch out for the thunderstorms across the higher terrain. Get ready for that heat. Hopefully you guys are liking this channel. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.